presentation. This presentation was made by Samir Dure. He's in charge of science popularization activity at Ison. So I will be using this presentation. There are two things that I have added, and we will cover that in next 1 hour. Mostly, I will be giving a brief introduction about how this, about like how you are going to present this to other people when you go for popularization about doing comet Ison. So we won't go much into detail, and I will quickly start. So this is one of photographs of a comet, and you can see there are like some structures coming out. This is one more comet, and as you know, comets usually have tail, and this particular comet has a very beautiful structure made by the tail. So this was primarily made in Marathi. So I hope I will talk in Marathi as well as English and try to make it a bit bilingual. No, I am not sure about the details of the photograph. Okay, so comet in Marathi it is called as Dhumketu. And what exactly a comet is? So comet is a icy, snowy, rocky astronomical body. एक बर्फाळ खडकाळ खगोलीय पिंड जो सूर्याच्या जवळ आल्यावर एक दृश्य वातावरण शेकून प्रदर्शित करतो. So this means that it's a icy body. When it comes near the sun, it starts melting because of the heat, and it leaves behind the content that is already present in the body of the comet. So besides that, you see a magnificent picture of a comet with one tail as blue color and the other as white color. So एक निळी आणि एक पांढरी शेपूट आपल्याला इथे बघायला मिळते. काय आहे ते आपण पटकन बघूया. Before that, why to study comet? धूमकेतूंचा अभ्यास का करावा? So as Samir had mentioned, they are like cosmic refrigerator. आपल्या घरी जसा फ्रीज असतो to store material for a longer period of time. Comets are also like refrigerators. Once the things get stored in them, they remain so for quite some period, and hence the samples that are present, they remain crispy, as the comets are very much present in the outer parts of the solar system and they are cold. So what can be present in these comets? The materials that were present during the formation of solar system. सूर्यमालेच्या उत्पत्तीच्या वेळेस जे काही द्रव्य, जे काही मटेरियल होतं in the solar system, out of which all the planets and the sun and everything that we see in the solar system, सूर्यमालेत जे काही दिसतं, जे ज्याच्यापासून सूर्यमाला बनलेली आहे, त्याच्यातलं काही मटेरियल हे त्या कॉमेट मध्ये असू शकतं. So actually, I'm doing it both ways. So why do study comet? Again, this the same thing. We need to find out what type of materials were present, what type of elements or what type of compounds were present during the formation of solar system, and so if we can study this material, तर आपण ह्या कॉमेट्सचा अभ्यास करू शकलो. We can find out what type of materials are present during the formation of sun and the solar system and other planets. Next is what exactly is the structure of comet. So the comet has three main parts. One is the nucleus, the other is coma, and the third is tail. So nucleus la Marathi nucleus, coma kendra, and coma is like a वातावरण त्याच्या आसपास, and then shape is tail. So these are the three main things in the structure of comet. So first, nucleus. So what exactly is the nucleus? So basically, comet is a rocky object and this particular rock is at the is called the nucleus. So हे जो खडक ज्याला आपण कॉमेट म्हणतो बेसिकली, तर त्याच्यामध्ये काय असतं, तर त्याच्यामध्ये आधीचं जे साठलेलं द्रव्य असतं, द मटेरियल दॅट इज प्रेझेंट इन इट ड्युरिंग द वेन इट वॉज फॉर्म, दॅट इज प्रेझेंट इन द न्यूक्लियस. What exactly it can be made up of? So it can be made up of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane, ammonia. There can be snow, that is ice particles. There can be dust and small rocks. So what this dust and the dust particles can be made up of? This can be silicates and this can be carbonaceous compound. Sometimes can be some organic compounds also.
When you say ice or work, you will usually confuse it all with water-based ice.
Yeah, it can be very good point. Actually, this purple or ice, it's not actually water. It may or may not be water. There can be different forms like carbon, that is carbon dioxide, solid carbon dioxide can also be present, and other gases that can be also be present. So typically the ranges, the sizes of comets can be from a few meters to a few kilometers, and densities are also very low. So if you know about Halley's comet, which appears every 76 years, so this comet has a very small size, and the density is also small, so it's like 0.6% of the flow. And again there is one more comet, that is comet Temple 1. It is again of a size of a small area, छोट्या गावा एवढा किंवा त्याच्यापेक्षाही छोटा असू शकतो, पण त्याची घनता जी आहे ती खूप कमी असते. फॉर कंपॅरिझन गिवन हिअर the size of Earth, which is around 30,000 kilometers, and its density. So you see how heavy Earth is and how dense Earth is. The next part is coma. So दुसरं जे आहे ते त्याच्या भोवतीचं आवरण आहे, or the stuff that is the वातावरण, environment you can say. So what exactly happens when comet comes near sun? It starts melting down, and the stuff that is present inside the comet in the frozen form, it starts evaporating, and it forms an envelope around it. And this envelope can be of 2,000 kilometers big, and inside this envelope you have the actual comet, the actual rock that has come from a long way, from where we will see. The third is tail, so shaped tail, and there are two types. First is dust tail. So as I am saying constantly, when comet approaches sun, because of the heat of the sun, it starts melting the gases, the stuff or the ices that are present on the comet. They start melting, they start evaporating, and they form a tail in which there can be dust particles and the material that is present on the comet, and it leaves behind that material on its path, and that is called as the dust tail. So जसा तो मेल्ट होत जातो, तसा तो वितळत जातो, किंवा त्याच्यामध्ये गॅसेस बाहेर पडतात, त्याच्याबरोबर त्याचे धुळीकण जे आहेत तेही बाहेर पडतात, आणि एक शेपटी तयार होते जी त्याचा मार्ग आहे त्याच्यामध्ये ते पार्टिकल्स पाठी सोडत जातो, त्याच्यामुळे एक शेपटी दिसते. So what it can be made up of? It can be made up of ice particles which actually reflect the sunlight, and that's why we see it. And usually the tail looks like whitish and the yellowish tail. The second type of tail that a comet has is the ion tail. Ion are gas particles, as we all know, and sun is actually the solar wind that we see, because of which we have these auroras in the north and south pole. These solar winds, and because of those charged particles, the particles that are present on the comet, which can be charged, they are left behind, they are pushed behind, and that is why you see something called as ion tail. So हे जे विद्युतभारित कण असतात कॉमेटच्या शेपटीमध्ये, कॉमेट वरचे, ते सूर्यवादळामुळे आपण म्हणू शकतो, त्याच्यामुळे ते पाठी राहत जातात आणि त्याच्यामुळे एक विद्युतभारित कणांची एक शेपटी बनते आणि सहसा ती निळ दिसते. इट्स युजली ब्लू इन कलर बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स कंटेंट दॅट इज आयोनाइज्ड कार्बन मोनॉक्साइड. And the important property of this tail, या शेपटीचं महत्वाचं असं ऑब्झर्वेशन असं आहे, it always points opposite to sun. Okay, we'll see. So this is one of the comets, and this white bit is the tail of the comet that is made up of dust, that is the dust tail, and the blue thing is the iron tail. So if you just extrapolate the line, सरळ लाईन काढली, you will go to sun. So it shows the direction of the sun. It is always in the opposite direction. So this is one of the pictures just to understand. The blue is the iron tail, which you will see it always points in opposite direction of the sun. ती निळ्या कलरची शेपट आहे, ती नेहमी सूर्याच्या विरुद्ध दिशेला असते. And if you trace the path, you will see that it will be always in the opposite direction. Whereas the dust tail, it usually traces the orbit of the comet. Not exactly. It is basically left behind. So it not exactly traces the orbit of the sun, but it is left behind in the orbit.
So this dust tail is not tangential. See, like the iron tail, it should also ideally be opposite to sun. But there are additional forces. Which are the additional forces acting on it? Which will make it curve. What are the additional forces acting on it?
It is the motion of the comet that.
So it is not exactly opposite. It is slightly curved as compared to this.
So just to distinguish, you can say that it is almost near the path of the comet, and this always points, irrespective of whatever is there, it always points opposite to the iron.
Iron tail is always exactly opposite. It is not exactly opposite. That's all. You should not go towards path of the comet, because see, as close very end,
it
will be very far from path of the comet.
It is cross tail is much more heavier. So the gravitational inertia is putting it in between path, and the iron tail is purely iron. They are not heavy particles. That is only facing the electromagnetic radiation pressure. That's why this gravity is only different for iron tail and cross tail. I don't exactly know.
See, I asked basically you have to for dust tail to also account for Coriolis force. That's why it's slightly curved.
Gravity is weak force, and electromagnetic force is much stronger. It's not the mass actually. Because gravity is weaker than electromagnetic force, that is why the iron is always opposite. But on this mass, in addition to gravity, there is also Coriolis force and all which causes all this.
It is iron tail because of the ionization there and then due to solar filter. When it comes close to sun, only the iron tail forms.
Both the tails are formed only close to sun.
Okay, so comets are classified as two types, basic classification. One is long period comet, which have a period of around greater than 200 years, and the other is short period, so its period is less than 200 years. Again, there are long period comets are classified in two types. One is the new comets that usually come and they are not very much periodic, they are usually not periodic, and they originate very far away at the edge of the solar system, and there are also comets which are returning. They have a very long period of going around the sun. Whereas in short period comet, you have two types again. One whose period are greater than 20 years, like the Halley type. We know that the period of Halley's comet is around 76 years. So the comets which have a period of more than 20 years are classified as Halley type, whereas the comets which have period less than 20 years are in the Jupiter family. So the period of Jupiter going around once around the Sun is around 11 years. So they are Jupiter family comet. This is just a name for classification. Quickly in Marathi 200 वर्षापेक्षा जास्ती जर का त्यांचा परिभ्रमणाचा काळ असेल तर ते त्यांना आपण कॉमेट्स म्हणतो आणि त्याच्यात पण दोन प्रकार आहेत. एक जे नवीन येऊ शकतात आणि त्यांचा पिरियडिक नाही आहेत आणि जे परत येऊ शकतात पण त्यांचा खूप लांबचा खूप जास्ती मोठा पिरियड आहे. वेळेस शॉर्ट पिरियड मध्ये दोन प्रकार आहेत. 20 इयर्स पिरियड असलेले, त्याच्यापेक्षा कमी असलेले आणि त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्ती असलेले. सो हॅलीज कॉमेटच्या टाईप मध्ये मोडणारे जे कॉमेट्स आहेत त्यांचा पिरियड 20 इयर्स पेक्षा जास्ती असतो, कारण की हॅलीज कॉमेट इज अराउंड 76 इयर्स. दिस इज वन टाईप. द अदर टाईप इज द ज्युपिटर फॅमिली. ज्युपिटर आपल्याला माहिती आहे की ज्युपिटरचा गुरुचा एक पिरियड सूर्याभोवती पूर्ण होण्यासाठी 11 वर्ष लागतात. त्या ज्या कॉमेट्सचं पिरियड 20 वर्षापेक्षा कमी आहे तर त्यांना आपण ज्युपिटर फॅमिली किंवा गुरुच्या टाईप. There is one more category of comets and those are sun grazing comets. म्हणजे सूर्याच्या खूप जवळ जाणारे. The perihelion, the closest point to sun is very near to sun and it almost goes inside the outer atmosphere of sun. So such comets, ashe je comets which are called sun grazing comets, they usually burn while they are in their perihelion and get destroyed because of the gravity of sun and the high temperature, and that's why they are called sun grazing comets. Why they are important? Because sometimes they can be used to, if they survive, they can be used to study the structure of solar corona and the magnetic field, how it will be. So this is one of the videos. You will see a comet that is going. It was the comet Lovejoy on 15 December 2011. If you can see, it got destroyed when it was very near to sun. Comet Lovejoy, which was like a lakh kilometers above the solar surface, which is almost in the outer atmosphere of the sun, and it got destroyed. So पूर्णपणे नष्ट झाला because of the heat and gravity.
Still is played backwards and forwards. Still, it's played forward in time.
It is played forward in time. So it lost too much material as it passed close to sun. So by the time when it reached far, it had already lost all its material. Actually, if you see at the start of the clip, the tail is wavy. That is because the material which is emitted from the comet is following the magnetic lines of sun. Just at the start of the clip. See right now, tail shows some wavy nature.
Due to solar wind.
No, the material which is captured by sun doesn't fall radially towards sun, it follows the magnetic lines of comets. So it will fall along the magnetic lines.
So where do comets come from? So at around 60 astronomical units and between 50 and 60 astronomical units, that is near the orbit of Pluto. We are just beyond the orbit of Pluto. We have something called as Kuiper belt, Kuiper belt. एक Kuiper belt नावाचा पट्टा आहे, जसा ऍस्ट्रॉइड बेल्ट आहे गुरु आणि मंगळाच्या मध्ये, साधारणपणे तशाच प्रकारचा एक बेल्ट खूप सारे छोटे बॉडीज आहेत, त्याचा एक बनलेला पट्टा आहे, त्याला आपण क्युपर बेल्ट म्हणतो. शॉर्ट पिरियड कॉमेट्स जनरली दिसून येतात. युजली इट इज said that short period comets arise from Kuiper belt, come from Kuiper belt, and at around 55,000 astronomical units, around like 1,000 times farther away. You have something called as the Woods cloud, and this Woods cloud is again something similar to Kuiper belt, but it is a spherical structure surrounding the whole of solar system, and it has small rocky bodies in it. And the larger comet, the long period comets, जिनका period 2 फुट है, they can they are said to be coming from the Woods cloud. So these are the places of origin of comet, and these, as you can see, they are very far away from the sun. This, I'm not sure about this brown dwarf thing because I don't know about this photograph. I just
asking. I don't know where I
because there is nothing. Because if there would have been a brown dwarf, then it would be a huge object and it would have been. If it's a brown dwarf, it is definitely bigger than the
sun is the binary system.
Yeah. Spherical part of the center node है spherical you call it as spherical where center lies
center at the sun. This was all formed during the birth of solar. So the sun is centered at 0, and then you have the scale marking couple of objects like 1 astronomical unit is Earth, and then you have 100 astronomical units around where the Kuiper belt ends, and then you have this Woods cloud structure from where the long period comes.
It's not exactly long. Because it's not really close like
they have marked as equal distances 10 to the 2, 10 to the 3. So it is not equal.
Basically not to scale. So
this is not to scale.
it is just to get an idea about how they are spaced in astronomical units.
So it's very big.
Okay, so I quickly went through.
It's a semi-long paper. What you call it's a semi-long paper. Dense power.
Yeah.
We should avoid calling it logarithmic also because they have put 0 in that.
Yeah.
So I just quickly went through what are comets and their structure. Now the important thing is what we want to study. This one was the event that is the Ison, the comet Ison. So the scientific name or the name given by observer is C201S1 Ison. The Ison means International Scientific Optical Network. On that particular name, it's given Ison. And it was discovered on 21st September 2012. So by now we are sure that this 2012 figure comes from the year, and it was found by 2 Russian astronomers, E. Nevsky and A. So what exactly this scientific name stands for, and what are the various symbols? So the thing is, there are many objects are being found. Like there are many asteroids, there are many comets have been found, like around 4,000 comets, and many asteroids have been found. And we have to categorize them. आपल्याला वेगवेगळे जे ॲस्ट्रॉनॉमिकल बॉडीज आहेत त्यांना कॅटेगराईज करावं लागतं, त्यांची वेगवेगळी नावं द्यावी लागतात. सो वाचून आपल्याला पटकन कळेल what name and what type of object it will be when it was discovered and stuff like that. So you have the C ahead. The C stands for comet. Then 2012, it stands for the year of discovery. This S stands for the month, but now as it is September, it is not exactly September. There is a convention that you divide the months into half. Say January 1 to 15 is